What it do, YouTube? B. Kelly, back again with another banger. Today's video is going to be about LaMelo Ball and his comeback. Before we talk about LaMelo Ball's comeback, we have to talk about his first rise to stardom at Chino Hills High School as a freshman. And I want to add that LaMelo Ball in his freshman year was really an 8th grader. He reclassified to be a 9th grader to play with his brothers Lonzo and LiAngelo all together. LaMelo Ball's freshman year at Chino Hills was amazing. With him playing alongside Lonzo and LiAngelo, they were unstoppable. They even won the national championship that year and went undefeated. And LaMelo Ball was a third option, and he still balled out. He averaged 16.4 points, 1.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 1.1 steals. He balled out. But now, in LaMelo Ball's sophomore year at Chino Hills High School, it was just him and LiAngelo now, with Lonzo now at UCLA. LaMelo still played really good, and so did the team, but they lost in the playoffs. And this is the only stats I could find from his sophomore season was just his point average. He averaged 26.7 points that season and played very well. Now going into LaMelo Ball's junior year in high school, it finally seemed like he would be the main man. He would be the big dog on the team. His point averages, all of his averages would be through the roof, especially with this good Chino Hills team, one of the best in the nation. But now we get to the fall of LaMelo Ball a little bit. LeVar Ball had a disagreement with the current Chino Hills coach, which he then pulled LaMelo Ball out of high school to have him homeschooled. At the time, LaMelo Ball was a 5-star recruit and top of his class. Not to mention he was committed to UCLA, where Lonzo attended and LiAngelo was currently attending. On December 11th, 2017, LaMelo and LiAngelo Ball signed with BC Vitatus of the Lithuanian Basketball League, aka the LKL. This would be a decline to LaMelo Ball's career. LaMelo Ball's time in Lithuania was not good at all. He didn't like the team, he never really got to play with LiAngelo, and he never really got to play that much, and he barely played because he was always hurt. His stats in Lithuania, he only played 8 games, averaged 6.5 points, 2.38 assists, 1.12 rebounds, almost 1 steal a game, along with shooting 27% from the field and 25% from the 3. LaMelo Ball's next venture would be in his dad's league, the JBA, where he would be the face of the league and play for the Los Angeles Ballers. Nobody was taking LaMelo Ball's talents serious in this league. LaMelo Ball averaged a triple-double in this league, and people thought the competition really wasn't all that. LaMelo Ball put up 39.6 points a game, 14.6 rebounds, and 11.5 assists per game during this season. And he won the championship alongside with his brother LiAngelo Ball. The next team LaMelo would play for was JBA USA. He was one of the 14 players along with LiAngelo Ball, which was basically the all-star team for the JBA and the best players, going around Europe and Asia playing different pro teams on the tour. And they did pretty well. They won a lot of games, and honestly, I'm going to say this. Watching some of the games later on, LaMelo Ball honestly started to seem like a team player instead of a ball hog. He's passing the ball more and being more of a team player at it and being more active on defense to get noticed more. But the JBA USA Tour did not end well for LaMelo, as in his last game he actually got ejected, and then he would eventually declare to return to the United States for his senior year and play for Spire Institute. At Spire Institute, LaMelo Ball was one of the most fun freshmen to watch just last season. Him and Rocket Watts were a dynamic duo, and they won most of their games. And one of my favorite games was when Spire Institute destroyed Julian Newman's team, because no one likes Julian Newman. That boy sucks. And he's cocky. But on another note, LaMelo Ball beasted out his senior season, and people wondering, where is he going to go to college? All of this. I mean, he was still a 5-star recruit. But as we know it, LaMelo Ball would not end up playing college basketball. He actually only ended up with 3 offers his senior season. all from small schools, including Alabama A&M, Eastern Michigan, and LIU Brooklyn. Those were the only 3 that offered him, and he was a 5-star prospect. But LaMelo Ball had his own shoe with Big Baller Brand, and people did buy it, so he was not eligible to play college basketball. LaMelo Ball would finish as the 21st best recruit in the ESPN Top 100, a fall from being the top of his class just 2 years ago. But he was on the rise again, especially with his coach Jermaine Jackson. Since LaMelo Ball was unable to play college basketball, he signed a 2-year contract with the Illawarra Hawks, who are part of the National Basketball League, aka the NBL, which was in Australia. He would sign a 2-year contract, which included if he was good enough to be drafted in the NBA, he can go to the NBA. Along with the guidance of his then head coach at Spire Institute, now agent Jermaine Jackson, who is a former NBA player, LaMelo Ball flourished in Australia to eventually become a future top 3 pick and potential number 1 pick. LaMelo showed he could thrive in the NBL, and he played very well. Even though his shot selection could be bad sometimes, he did very well at the least. He was injured near the end and did leave early, but he averaged 17 points a game along with 7 assists and 7.5 rebounds, along with 1.67 steals while shooting 37% from the field and 24% from the 3. Even though LaMelo Ball averaged 7 assists a game in Australia, he could have easily averaged about 12. He could have averaged a double-double on the season, but some of his teammates, I'm not trying to call them out or anything, but some of them were not that good at finishing. Like, he created great passes and create great shots for them from either beyond the arc or just a jump shot or a layup or dunk, and they would miss it most of the time. By the end of the 2019-2020 season in Australia, the Illawarra Hawks would finish dead last in the NBL, finishing 5-23. During LaMelo Ball's time in Australia, he is now solidified to be a top 3 pick in this NBA draft up and coming. But I think LaMelo Ball is the best player in this draft, even though the competition in that top 3 is very tight. Do I think LaMelo Ball is going to be the number 1 pick? I think he has a high potential to be, but it really depends on who gets that number 1 pick. Because if the Warriors get it, I think they're taking James Wiseman all day. And depending on some other teams, they may take Anthony Edwards. But any team LaMelo Ball goes to, I think that he will be a great fit to any team he goes to. And I think he can win Rookie of the Year. And I think, honestly, he'll be better than Lonzo Ball. But his game has developed a lot in Australia and at Spire. And you have to give credit to Jermaine Jackson, his mentor. Jermaine Jackson made LaMelo Ball a leader. He made him a non-selfish player. That is all, guys. Be Kelly out. Remember to smash that like button, turn them post notifications on, and subscribe for more videos.